Well, Sean, after our Saturday performance, we figured we better make some changes around here. So we invited in Joe from Joe Madden Sports. Joe, how are you today?
I'm incredible. How are you guys?
Yeah, absolutely incredible to fantastic. It's what my
Wow.
old karate teacher used to make us say. How you doing today? Absolutely incredible to fantastic.
It's all mindset, you guys.
Absolutely. I mean, a lot of people made a lot of money writing books about the power of positive thinking. So I've read every single one of them. I was in a Dale Carnegie class. Have you ever heard of that?
No, I should definitely look it up.
Well, Dale Carnegie back in the days, you would go there for like sales/leadership training. Yeah. And at the end, they had a list of all these books. And it was all like power of positive thinking and flow, all of these books about like self-help. So the instructor was asking, who read this book? And I'm like raising my hand for everyone. And I'm looking around the room and I'm the only one raising my hand. And I think to myself, these people think I'm either absolutely brilliant or about to jump off a bridge. I don't know which one, but he's definitely somewhere in one of those two camps.
Absolutely. I'll go with the first. Let's roll with that one today.
We certainly didn't look brilliant on Saturday. That's for sure. This game could be tough. I'm sure you've been through it too, Joe. On a roll, and then out of nowhere, someone puts a brick road in front of the Ferrari going 900 miles an hour, and boom, everything blows up in a day.
Absolutely. It's a daily grind. And I always tell people to look at cappers when they're in that slump because they're coming back and they're coming back hot. There's always that bounce back. So it's coming.
I was the get ready to fade guy because I was smoking hot. Sean was just trying to jinx me because every day on the Twitter, he's like, Rich is on fire. Rich is on fire. And I'm like, Sean, you're going to jinx me.
Yeah, I did a good job of that. But you know what? I'm excited. We'll talk some football today. I think that's where I turn around college football and pro football. Baseball has just been tough this year, really tough.
I'm done with it.
Grind. Yeah, you're done with it.
I'm done with it, right? Football, it's August. It's football season. Let's go. I am done.
Yeah, well, Thursday's football season. Cowboys versus Steelers in the Hall of Fame game. I'm watching TV and like an ad comes on. I'm like, wait a minute, what? The NFL starting on Thursday? You got to be kidding me.
That was the last Sunday without football until February.
That'll be fun. Sean won't be off of his couch now until February.
Oh, either am I. Like, I can't wait. All the great food's coming out on Sundays. It's going to be back to normal, so I can't wait for it.
Yeah, back to normal indeed. All right, well, let's get started. We're going to talk about NFL futures. And first up, we're going to talk about to win the division first. How does that sound?
Sounds great.
All right, so let's take a look at the odds. Let's start in the AFC East. Everybody believes the Buffalo Bills are the hands down AFC East winner, minus 145, followed by New England and Miami at a tie at about plus 350. And then the New York Jets are way, 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 way down there. And we're here with two Jets fans, so I think we might actually get some action on the JETS.
I wish, but I actually love Buffalo. I think Buffalo's going to be really, really good. I regret the Jets never took Josh Allen. I would have loved for them to take Josh Allen over Sam Darnold. I think Buffalo's going to be that much better this year. And I don't know if they beat Kansas City, but they're going to be the team that gives Kansas City a run.
Yeah. How about you, Joe? What do you think in this division?
I'm right on there with you guys. Buffalo, there's no way anyone in this division is beating them. I think Josh Allen gets MVP. You can get him at plus 1,300 for that as well. I love Buffalo. You know, they almost had it last season, and I think they come back way stronger this one.
Yeah, I like Buffalo too. Josh Allen, though, is he's the key. If he goes down, they could be in trouble. I mean, they have my old Matt Trubisky behind him here from Chicagoland. Mitchell, his mom says. Speaking of moms in the AFC East, right? A little drama out of New York. You were talking a little bit about that before the show, Joe and Sean.
Yeah, I'm not sold, and I know you are, Sean, on Zach, but he's a mama's boy, and I don't know how far mama's boy can go in the NFL. No, and I don't mean that wrong. I know all the players love their moms, but he's letting his mom control his contract right now, so that is an issue. Yeah,
she definitely needs to take a back seat. As far as him on the field, I have trust in him, and the fact that he'll stay out of trouble off the field. It all comes down to him getting his mom in line.
Absolutely. So you can get him for over 13.5 picks. I was telling you guys before at minus 110. You guys, I really think he comes out and he has a hard, first 5 weeks. I see those first 5 weeks, pick after pick after pick. He hasn't faced the caliber of what he is going to face in the NFL, being from an independent college. I don't see it, and I love it. I hate to say that to you, Sean, because I know the Jets are your team, but I think, 3 years in college, he got 15 picks. I think we see 15 in 4 weeks, 5 weeks.
Well, that's the good
big
thing.
Number.
I always say I'm an NFL fan and then a Jets fan. I have the ticket. I can watch all the games, so I relieve myself by watching other games and seeing other teams do well.
Hey, I'm a Chargers fan. I hear you.
Well, you got a good quarterback out there now. That seems to be a settled situation. Zach's mom, hopefully she's not watching because I don't want to hear from her.
We'll all hear from her.
Yes, indeed. I can see my emails already lighting up. Looking at this division, the only team I think that has a crack at them is the Dolphins. They had a pretty good defense. It all comes down to Tua, if he could play quarterback or not. I'm not sold off of last year. It seemed to me like he wasn't throwing the ball. He was guiding the ball. He was worried about making mistakes. I don't think that you can be worried about making mistakes in the NFL. You have to, especially as a quarterback, you have to have the closer's mentality. The ball's got to go where the ball's got to go, and you got to trust your players to make plays. That's the difference between the great ones and the ones that aren't so great. Absolutely. In the AFC North Division, can Lamar win the division again against the upstart Cleveland Browns, or is big old Ben still got something left in the tank? We'll start with you, Joe.
Oh, I look at this and you know what? I wish I could say Ben still had something in the tank, but he's another year older and I just don't have the faith in him that I used to have. I'm looking at this and I think it's Lamar's year. I see them getting double-digit wins. I think they take this division. I just think they're too strong all around of a team.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Sean?
I actually like Cleveland here. Cleveland's been the last couple of years, they're the upstart, and they're getting better and better. Not as much talk about them. I mean, they're just they should make the playoffs, but not anything too big. That's when they're going to be good. And Nick Chubb as the running back, as long as he stays healthy, Mayfield, stays out of trouble, stays healthy, Cleveland's going to be good. And Lamar Jackson's kind of regressed a little bit last year.
And so did their defense last year as well.
I'm not so sure it's Lamar, to be honest with you. I think he did regress. But I don't think his coaching staff instills a ton of confidence in him because as soon as the game kind of gets a little bit away from them, especially against better teams like Kansas City, it seems like Harbaugh throws the game plan out the window and then throws Lamar to the wolves instead of sticking to the game plan. I feel like J.K. Dobbins is going to be much better in the sophomore campaign as the primary ball carrier. He can catch. He's explosive. He's a fire plug. I think he's going to have a big year at the running back position. I feel like Lamar is going to have a Lamar-like year. He's going to be a triple threat. He's going to throw touchdowns. He's going to run for touchdowns, and he's going to turn the ball over. That's Lamar. But it's going to be explosive. I'm not so sold on Baker Mayfield. I don't know if he can see over the offensive line or not. And I think he gets too caught up in what other people are saying about him instead of what he's doing on the field. If he can put that aside and become a leader, but in big situations, the kid just puts the ball at risk too much, and that's going to come back and hurt him. And it's sad because, Big Ben may be going down, probably 20 pounds heavier. Sorry, Ben, but hey, it's okay. You're getting up there. You've earned every one of those bites. But, Joe Burrow is probably the best quarterback in this division already, provided he comes back healthy. I think it comes down to Cleveland and Baltimore. Baltimore has the pedigree. Baltimore, to me, is going to win the division, and you're catching a plus line here with them, unlike Buffalo, where it's a big negative line. So I would prefer to go with Baltimore than I would Buffalo if you're going to go with the Battle of Bees. In the AFC South, big addition over to the Tennessee Titans, Julio Jones teaming up with that powerful running back. Can anybody stop him, Joe?
No, he's unstoppable. He's going to be fantastic there. This division's a hard one. We see the Colts have lost Wentz. So who do we have? I actually have got messages like today, people saying, hey, is Phillip Rivers going to come back? I'm like, there's no way. He's not coming out of retirement. I don't know what – Andrew Luck? You think he'll come out? I was like, damn, that would be good to see. But, I look at this and I go, this is a coin flip. We've got the Texans that probably have the worst year ever. They got Deshaun Watson. Who knows if he'll even hit the field. Jaguars with Trevor Lawrence.
Got a lot of learning curve to go through, indeed. Yep.
Huge. And I'm terrified for these new quarterbacks. I got to be honest. I don't think the Jaguars have the offensive line to protect him, to give him that time in the pocket. It's the worst thing about the draft. You see these outstanding quarterbacks go first and to the worst teams in the league, and they have no protection. That's the worst thing about Joe Burrows. Like, Joe Burrows is coming back this year. I hope he's healthy. I hope he's protected. And I hope no one else gets injured like he did.
For sure. Sean, what do you think?
I like Tennessee here as much, if not more, than Buffalo. Indianapolis losing Wentz here. You're going to go with Jacob Eason for a little bit. Fourth round pick last year. Yeah, out of Washington. Ooh. Jacob Eason.
Exactly.
Yeah. And even if Wentz is playing, you know how I feel about the Eagles, even though they're my local team. They're the 32nd team in my book, and I never felt like Wentz was that great of a quarterback, and still is not going to be. And then you got Jacksonville, which, like you said, they're going to have a lot of learning curves there. And then Houston's just a disaster. Who knows if Watson will play or what. So I really like Tennessee here. And they're what, minus 115, minus 120?
Yeah. But what happens if Tannehill gets hurt? And to me, I'm not.
You still have Derrick Henry, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, but I'm not such a big Julio Jones guy. I know people point to it, but the guy can't stay healthy anymore. And one of the things about skilled position players is once they start getting dinged and the injuries are harder and harder to overcome, you see it all the time. Big stars, even not so big stars, they get injured. It becomes more and more difficult. He's going to have, he had a hard time staying on the field in Atlanta, and they had a great crop of wide receivers right there. I'm not so sure that Tannehill is an upgrade from Matt Ryan in terms of throwing the ball. He's more accurate. I'm not so sure that he's going to see the amount of targets. I do agree with you. Tennessee looks like the team to beat because the rest of the conference is a mess, especially at the bottom, and no starting quarterback. So Tennessee should have their way in this division, but it is the NFL, and one injury can change it. In the AFC West, it's Kansas City and then everybody else, or are your Chargers, Joe, going to make a play for that? I don't know if you saw in the golf tournament when the person heckled Patrick Mahomes and said, "What do you think about those Chargers? They've got a quarterback." And he said, "Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it."
Yeah, exactly. You know what? It is Mahomes' division. I'm going to be straight up and honest, but Justin Herbert is an outstanding quarterback, and we're finally building an offensive line to protect him. We got Slater in the draft, and I think week 1 will be the biggest test for our offense. If they can do something against Washington, even if they don't win this game, but if they can come out hard against Washington's incredible defense. I think Washington has the best defense in the league, and can even keep that a close game. I think they're going to have a fantastic season. I think that's Justin Herbert's hugest test so far.
I think he had a phenomenal rookie campaign. The kid looks the part in the NFL. One of those players that's maybe a little cerebral, maybe not a leader. Looks like the coaching staff said, we're not going to force this kid to be a leader. We're going to let him be him. And just as long as he's making plays on the field, they saw it was so great that the trainer punctured Tyrod Taylor's lung to get him out on the field. So,
holy, you know what? Did he ever? And as a Chargers fan, I'll straight out say it. They did that. There's no way they didn't. I don't believe any of the stories that it was an accident.
Yeah, those are
NFL doctors, right? Like, give me a break.
Yeah, they shouldn't make that mistake. Sean, Are you going to make a mistake here and pick against Kansas City?
No, and you can't even take Kansas City with the kind of value you're getting just because of injuries and everything else. So this is a no play for me, but Kansas City's going to win the division.
Yeah, I think for me, if I were going to upstart that might do it. I think the Chargers are ascending. I don't understand why people have Denver so high. But we'll see.
Drew Lock, they have Denver high. That's nuts. That's not sorry.
Yeah, maybe they were thinking that Aaron Rodgers was going to work his way out there for one old quarterback for Elway, but I'm not so sure that he's going to end up out there. It sounds to me like he's at Green Bay for at least another year, maybe disgruntled and angry, and that's how he likes to play. But in the NFC East, there's your number 1 defense, Joe. The Washington Football Club couldn't decide on a new name after 2 years to think about it. Maybe they should just name their team the Daniel Snyders. That would be just as offensive as the name used to be.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've got Washington taking this division. I think it's still plus 260. What do you have up there? Yeah, plus 220-ish.
Oh, 260 is the top line. We're line shoppers, Sean and I, so we get the best line we can.
You have to. You absolutely do. You shop those books. But I like Washington. I think their defense is led so strong by Chase Young. That kid is absolutely incredible. They are going to blitz those quarterbacks. He is out for blood, and so is that whole line. Don't they have I'm trying to think. There's a couple other guys on that line that are just so profound. I think it's absolutely the best.
Yeah, the defense was definitely the core of that squad last year, and I expect it's going to be the core of their squad again this year. And the quarterback situation, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Taylor Hanke, I mean, you got the NFL's version of Conor McGregor out there, and see if maybe he can not break a leg like Theismann and lead that team to victory. I mean, he's a hot and cold quarterback, unquestionably about it. When he's on, he's as good as anybody. But when he's off, he's colorblind and throws the ball to the other team. I do think Washington is the team to beat. My team is the Cowboys. Their defense is just, I mean, they were just a few points away from being historically bad last year. I don't know that they've gotten any better.
Injuries. It was only injuries last year. You guys are going to have a way better year.
I don't know. The one thing I am hopeful about is Zeke is not fat ass coming into the season this year. He's actually pretty shredded and ready to go. So in the last couple of years, you looked at Zeke in the when they were going like to camp, he had like the wrestler sweats on, and he looked like he was on the couch with a pizza and a beer all off season. This year, he looks like he's ready to play. Let's see if Zeke can get it going on, because I think he felt the heat from Pollard last year, who was far more explosive, and maybe he heard some trade rumors. But I agree with you. I think Washington wins this division. Sean?
Yeah, I would agree with you guys. I'm a big Ryan Fitzpatrick fan. It's sad as a Jets fan. The most excited I got over a quarterback since Chad Pennington was Ryan Fitzpatrick. The only thing with Ryan Fitzpatrick is when he has his starting job and he doesn't have to earn it and he starts the whole game, he's not as good as when he comes in off the bench. So that would be my concern there. But if Fitzpatrick plays any good at all, Terry McLaurin on the outside for Washington is going to have a huge year. Fitzpatrick loves to throw the deep ball. McLaurin loves to go for it. So I would go with Washington here with the value. No way you can trust the Cowboys as the favorite.
Nope, can't trust the Cowboys. The Packers division, Green Bay and Minnesota. They haven't won anything since like I was a teenager. And now I have still a funny story. I walked into a store. They're like, "Are you 55? You can get a senior discount." So I've gone from being a teenager to getting senior discounts since the Cowboys have won anything. That's very sad. Tampa Bay we got Green Bay Packers with the disgruntled Aaron Rodgers. You have Kirk Cousins, who doesn't know quite how to make good on his contract. The Bears, I don't know what, rookie quarterback, or you got the Red Rifle. I forget his name right now. That's how inspiring he played last year for the Cowboys.
Dalton.
Yeah, Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
And then Detroit. I mean, I don't know.
With Goff.
What are they doing? Jared Goff, correct. So does Green Bay win this division again?
Absolutely. They walk straight into this division, win it all. Minus what? You've got minus 150s, minus 120s there.
Minus 140, minus 120, yes. Yeah. So we'll go minus 120.
Absolutely. I think as long as they have Rodgers, it's a simple answer. Green Bay walks all over this division. The Bears with Justin Fields, I believe in this kid. I actually think he was the best quarterback out of the draft, but I don't think first year he's going to be the best in this division, especially with Rodgers there. So I think he has a good year. I think the Bears have a good year. I don't trust Kirk Cousins to save my life. And Jared Goff, there was no way it's happening there. So Packers, easy decision in this one.
Pretty boy doesn't work in Detroit like it works in LA, I guess, right? I have my concerns about Justin Fields. Being from Chicago, we get a ton of Big Ten football on TV, and I watched a lot of his games. He's kind of in that Josh Allen and Cam Newton mold, in that when he's on, he's unbelievable, but when he's off, he's horrible. And rookie quarterbacks are going to have a lot of off moments because they're going to think they see something they really don't see. I'm hoping that he's a lot more of that good Josh Allen or good Cam Newton or the good Justin Fields. I mean, when they played, I think it was Alabama. I think it was Alabama they played, or maybe Clemson, where he was just lights out. And then in the championship game, he was not so good. That's Justin Fields in a nutshell. And I think in rookie year, you're going to see a lot of that, the high standard deviation from him. In the NFC South, you got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers now with Tom Brady, got Drew Brees to retire out of here. So is Jameis Winston going to take over there? What do you think, Joe? Who's the starting quarterback?
Yeah, I think it's going to be Winston, and I have no faith in the Saints. I think they get under 9 wins this year at plus 330. That's really nice, over under total, but it's Brady's division. Brady's going to walk into another Super Bowl. Hate to say it. Love his talent. Hate betting for him or against him because he is my what is it called in betting when you can't bet for them or against them? My nemesis, your kryptonite. Nemesis, yeah, he absolutely is if I want him to win. And I often think maybe I should tell everyone to take the Bucs not to be in the Super Bowl and then bet for them to win the whole season. They'll lose every single game. They just do opposite of what I need. But then I'm like, hey, maybe it's the universe that will just switch it. I'm excited to see actually how Sam Darnold will do with the Panthers. And I know lots of people don't have faith in him, but I think he had a crap time with the Jets. I think the media killed his career, releasing that he saw ghosts. That never would have happened to any other quarterback. Mm-hmm. I'm excited for him. I think he's going to have a fantastic season.
Well, he certainly got the most dynamic running back. I just wonder if McCaffrey could stay healthy because he's a smaller guy in the NFL. He's taken a lot of hits, carried the ball, caught the ball a ton of times. So, but he's got the most lethal weapon in the league. And then he teams back up with a couple of his old teammates down there at wide receiver. So maybe he should have some chemistry right away. Sean, do you think anybody can beat Tampa Bay?
Probably not, but I mean, Brady's got to stop eventually, right? I've been saying it for 5 years now. I mean, I don't think they're going to the Super Bowl this year, but they're going to win this division. But yeah, Carolina with Darnold, he does go with Robbie Anderson again, and they were lethal with the Jets too. So if both stay healthy, that will be a good combination. The Saints, I would be more excited about going with Taysom Hill than I would Jameis Winston, but
can't throw. His shot puts the ball.
Yeah, we'll see what they do. I just don't think Winston throws too many interceptions. I don't think he'll last.
No. Well, if he gets the starting role, we'll see. He's got a year to learn. So if he's learned to get rid of those interceptions, that could work. I think he's another one of those guys that just, I don't know if did you watch when they were on the HBO show Hard Knocks? And then he was in the huddle with Deshaun Jackson, and the coach was calling one play, and he said, you just go long. I'm going to throw it to you. They just totally went against what the coach said. So he throws the ball long. It gets picked off by the DB, and the coach was like, what the beep? I didn't call that play. What was? And he starts yelling at Jameis Winston. He's like, I don't know. And it's on film. It's like, dude, what are you doing?
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, it was. I mean, my son and I were on the floor crying, on our backs, belly up. It was just hilarious. NFC West, San Francisco, LA Rams, Seattle, Arizona. This is the most competitive conference, I think, in all of football. To me, it's also the conference with the biggest acquisition that's going to make the biggest difference, and that's the new quarterback in LA. Joe, what do you think about adding Matthew Stafford to that Los Angeles Rams team?
I can't wait to see how he does because he's going to have the best offensive line that he has ever had playing football. I think they're going to do incredible. You know what? Actually, I don't even know who I want to win this division because I look at Jimmy G of the 49ers. I love what they have. It looks like Nick Bosa's on his way back, who went out with injury last year on their defense. I think Kyler Murray deserves to win this division. I think he's an outstanding quarterback. There were plus 600 or something crazy for Arizona to actually have a chance at this. But I think it's the Rams or the Seahawks. Sad to say, I think it's one of them. We got Wilson. I love to not like Wilson. There's something about him. I don't know. Maybe he's just as cocky as hell. I don't know what it is. He's a great quarterback, though. I'd like to see them not take it. I think the Rams or the 49ers would be no, even the Cardinals. I don't know. This is a hard one. I wish they weren't all in the same league.
You could probably Dutch them and figure out a way, no matter what, with some of these plus lines. If you go book shopping, you can get a small profit no matter who wins. Sean, who do you think wins this division?
I love the Rams. I love Stafford. I loved watching him even with Detroit. Now he finally got players around him. He's a winner, even though he was with Detroit. I mean, the games they won was because of him. I think the Rams with the defense with Darnold and Ramsey. I think it's the Rams. The only thing is they did lose their running back Cam Akers, so that hurts them a little bit. They have Henderson, who was supposed to be really good rookie last year. He didn't really pan out, so we'll see how he does this year. But I think Stafford could throw it 60 times if he has to.
I don't think they're going to need to throw it 60 times. I think if you can throw to set up the run, and I think that's what they're going to be able to do. Their defense is going to be solid. It's a no excuses year for Matt Stafford. He's on a solid team, good offensive-minded coach. He's going to have to come through. But last year I said, I would love at the beginning of the year for the Cowboys to have traded for Matthew Stafford and switched him out for Dak Prescott, because I think he is the best quarterback in the league that never really had a chance to showcase his skills. I mean, he made a star out of Kenny Galladay, right? No one even knew who Kenny Galladay was. Wait till you see what he can do at like Robert Woods and that crew there. I expect a huge year out of Stafford.
And that's another player prop. Stafford's over 28.5 touchdowns. I think it's like minus 110. I think that's a really good one right there.
Oh, that's money right there.
Money in the bank. You heard it from Joe. Now to win the conference, who's going to represent the AFC and the NFC in the Super Bowl? We'll start with you, Joe.
I think it's Bucks and KC again. I hate to say it. I'm just like want to cry. Yeah, that's where I think it is. Or Buffalo. I think Buffalo is really going to give KC a run. I think it's going to be a hard division, or a hard race for those two. But if Josh Allen can stay healthy, I think he gets MVP. That's where I'm leaning.
So Kansas City, Buffalo, and on the other side, Tampa Bay. Sean, what about you?
It's probably going to be Kansas City, but I would take a flyer on Buffalo. I really like this Buffalo team. You're going to get a lot more value with Buffalo. And then I would take a flyer on the other side and go with the Rams on the NFC. Like I said,
the Rams are the second choice right now, so I don't know if that's a flyer.
Well, I'm going against Brady. Like I said, it's got to stop sooner or later. It can't be year after year after year.
Mm-hmm.
Or does Green Bay come out and do it and then Rodgers retires? It's a good storyline.
You know what? Yeah. Green Bay is the most overrated. Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers are the most overrated things there are.
Say what you really feel, hey?
Yeah.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers is overrated. You can't play in that league as long as he has with that touchdown to interception ratio. And I mean, in reality, when guys leave that team and go play other places as a wide receiver, they ain't no good. Look at Jordy Nelson, right? There's a case in point.
Oh, wait. Aaron Rodgers is put up there with like Tom Brady. He doesn't have the championships Brady does. If Rodgers is more gifted than Brady is. He is not.
It depends on what you mean gifted. There's a mental side of the game, too, that people discount. To me, Brady's the most gifted mental quarterback that's ever played.
I mean, now he cried about getting Randall Cobb, and you got Randall Cobb. That's not going to win them the Super Bowl.
Well, we'll find out.
He trusts him. He trusts him just like Brady trusts Gronk and made Gronk come back out of retirement, right? Hey, I want to ask you guys, do you think Edelman's going to come out of retirement and be a Bucs before the season's over?
When he gets healthy, yeah. If he can pass the physical, I think unquestionably, yeah.
I think he failed it on purpose.
Could well be. Wouldn't it be surprising? For me, nope. I think that it's tough to make 3 Super Bowls in a row. It doesn't happen that often. So I think you kind of got to go against Kansas City. Although Patrick Mahomes is the face of the NFL, there's no doubting that. I mean, if Julio Jones can make a difference, I think Tennessee, considering the quarterback situation and the Deshaun Watson situation down in Houston, they probably have the easiest road to win their conference. I think Tennessee is a flyer there because they can run the ball. If they can pass the ball, they got an effective defense. Their coach is probably an up-and-coming Belichick. He's a really good coach. So I'm going to take a flyer on Tennessee. And on the other side, I think it's the Rams. They have no excuse now because they got the quarterback in Stafford. They have the top defense. They got a shutdown corner. They can rush the passer. They can create short fields. So for me, I'm going to go Tennessee versus the Los Angeles Rams in the Super Bowl. And it's time to figure out who are you going to pick to win. Go ahead, Joe. Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
KC's year. I hate it. Makes me feel sick even saying it. I think KC comes out and wins it.
Sean?
I think the torch is passed.
That happened a long time ago. I think he is the face of the NFL. Though, Tom Brady has done pretty well against the youngster.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Buffalo here. I'm gonna go Buffalo.
And I pray you're right. I would love to see that.
As a Jets fan, I shouldn't say that, but you know what? I enjoy watching Buffalo anyway. It's not as painful as New England, so I think it's Buffalo's year. They're gonna be good for a while. If
the Rams can get any semblance back of the offense they had 2 years ago with Jared Goff, with Stafford. And they can create all that kind of offensive excitement and points. That defense should be able to create short fields if they can get one-dimensional and start chasing the quarterback up the field. I think the Rams are the team to beat this year, hands down. I think they win the Super Bowl. They christen that stadium out there with a championship. The LA Rams are your 2022 Super Bowl champ, in my view.
I'm just concerned about that running game. I mean, I picked them to get there, but the running game is what scares me a little bit. I wish they had another veteran running back behind Henderson.
Well, when the Cowboys suck half season, they can trade for Zeke. that would make a lot of the Cowboys fans happy. All right, so now we're going to go to the future, from the future to today. Let's talk a little bit of Major League Baseball. Pretty light schedule today. Sean, any particular game that you like today?
Yeah, I like Milwaukee minus a run and a half. I know it's breaking your rule and it's a negative. It's like minus 115 versus Pittsburgh. But Pittsburgh is horrible against left-handed pitching as well. So the Brewers beat them last week pretty good, a couple games too. So it should be no problem there.
Is that your only pick of the day?
That's my only pick.
How about you, Joe? You like anything in the baseball schedule? I know you said you crumbled it up and you Kobe'd it right into the garbage can. Well done, eh?
Right. You know what? I didn't find much value today. I think there's a lot of favorites going to win. I love the Giants. I love what the Giants are doing right now. But at minus 210, I just can't take it. I'm not spending that kind of juice. Otherwise, there wasn't really any dog situations that I wanted to play today. We've got the Indians and the Blue Jays going right now. I have the Jays winning, but again, there's no value, right? No value at all. So I won't take anything over a minus 140 in baseball.
I won't go over minus 167, and that's just because I found that's kind of my break point where I start to lose at more than 50%. So for me, the only game on the slate that makes any sense whatsoever at all is the Miami Marlins and the New York Mets. Mets are struggling to hit. They've struggled to hit Alcantara, the starting pitcher. I know it's not listed there, but that's who I've heard is going to be the starter
pitched
today.
yesterday. He just pitched yesterday.
Oh, did he? Well, then it can't be him.
Yeah, I don't know why they had that listed like that earlier.
All right, well, can't be him, but still, nonetheless, looking at I know the kid who's pitching for the Mets, Migo, has been outstanding. But the fact is, the Marlins have beaten the Mets 3 out of 5 games this year. They've won 2 out of 3 at home. The Mets are struggling to hit. I think it's going to end up being a bullpen game, no matter who the starter is for Miami. And Miami has a little bit better bullpen. So I think the only value on the board today is the Miami Marlins. They do have the home-away run differential, a pretty sizable one against the Mets, and they are the better team in terms of power ranking. So if you like teams that score more runs, then in a pitching duel, that's how you win. It's plus 130 in a 50-50 game. That's how I see it for baseball today. That's it for me in terms of baseball and for our picks today. Joe, if folks want to follow you online, where can they follow you and your picks and keep up with you throughout the entirety of the NFL season, where you and Sean will both be pinned to your couches on Sundays and Thursdays and Mondays and some Saturdays?
Right. And I wish it was like last year where we had a Wednesday and a Tuesday night thrown in there. That was absolutely awesome. But you guys, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Joe Madden Sports. I'm also on Instagram at The Joe Madden and Facebook. But the Joe Madden freezes sometimes. So Joe Madden Sports is the best place to find me.
And you put something out from what I see every morning. You have your cup of coffee and an idea that people can come in and take a look at. Fantastic. Sean, for those who want to follow us, where do they go?
Facebook and Twitter, Moneyline Madmen.
It made it easy. And, also, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the bell. Make sure you follow Joe on Twitter. From what I've seen, she's got some really good picks, great insights. And as you can see today, she's got some she's great ideas in terms of Zach Wilson and his 13 and a half interceptions. Are there any other player props that you have on your radar?
You know what? Josh Allen and Justin Herbert, I'm putting money on both of them for MVP. I think Justin Herbert is beautiful plus money. That is plus 2,000. For him, I really think he has a chance. And I am a little biased because I am a Bolts girl. So be careful with that. Texans, worst record of the whole NFL. You can get that at plus 2,800. I love that. I think the Texans are going to absolutely suck. No team will suck worse.
Well, especially if Deshaun's on the sidelines, because that kid wins games by himself.
Absolutely.
In my projections for this year, I do have them, the Lions, the Texans, and unfortunately your Jets. So maybe Zach Wilson's going to have that type of year as and the Jacksonville. But I do think that Trevor Lawrence will find a way to win a few extra games for them. But I think those are going to be your three worst teams: the Texans, the Lions, and the Jets. And with the Jets being the worst, not by a lot, but by enough to get the first pick next year, and they can get another quarterback.
No, let's not do that.
All right, Joe, thank you for joining us. I had a lot of fun today.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Hopefully you'll come back soon. I had a good time. I know Sean had fun, and hopefully our picks hit, right?
Absolutely. We should do a show on week 1.
Absolutely. Or maybe every week. You want to have like an every week NFL show together?
Sure.
Right,
I love talking NFL. So anytime you guys want me on, just let me know.
Well, that's good because Rich don't like the NFL as much. So.
Oh, I love the NFL. I used to say I had the Sunday ticket long before there was a Sunday ticket. When they first brought DirecTV, I went out and got DirecTV specifically because of what has become the NFL ticket. I had it, and I'm dating myself once again here, but I had it so long ago that in the beginning, it wasn't even the NFL Sunday ticket. They had a sports package that included Major League Baseball, NHL, hockey, and football, all for one price. That's how long ago I've been subscribed to it. So, I just gotten a little older, and when the clock is ticking and you walk into T-Mobile and they say, "Are you a senior citizen?" You want to do some other things sometimes.
Oh, that's funny. Don't be bitter. Don't be bitter. Still love the NFL.
I'm not bitter whatsoever. I have too much of whatever that is, serotonin, to be bitter. All right, Joe. All right, Sean. Until we catch up in 23 hours and 30 minutes from now, everybody, as always, good luck with your bets. May they all be winners.